Jacobs has some amazing tips and tricks on our Google business profile. If you didn't know what the statistics are, it's pretty crazy on how many people are actually using Google Business, like as their profile, as their business profile, utilizing all the little features that none of us really look at. But however, when we search for something, we find this one profile. Why do we find this one profile? Well, Jacob's going to show us technical terms, but in layman's terms, because if I can understand it, you guys will understand it. But he's also going to show us on his actual Google profile, everything and all the way through, so you guys can look through it. This will be recorded, so if you do drop off, please don't worry. We will make sure that you are here. I got more people in the waiting. He's actually going to teach us all the tips and tricks in Facebook, how to use the Reels feature, how to use all of the little tabs that are there, which will be really great for most of us who don't know how to do that. That will be Friday, June 21st at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Again, that is on June 21st. We're going to talk about how to connect with older homeowners through Facebook. So she's going to give us some great ideas on how to do video messaging, what to talk about. So there's that. Mark, this is an important one. If you guys have not gone through the Mutual of Omaha Lifestyle Home Loan Real Estate Certification course, I'm bringing it back. So I've done this course several times over the years. People don't realize it's out there. What is the lifestyle home loan? Well, very simple. It's a HECM for purchase. It is a great way for older adults who are tapped out of the market and can't or don't think that they can afford new homes to be able to use the lifestyle home loan through Mutual of Omaha. They have branded it. It is only for those over 62. So it fits in perfectly for you guys to educate and understand what else is out there for us to be giving and educating our, other people on, our clients and ourselves. So that is Friday, June 28th. And that will be at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. And it's a 2-hour course with a test at the end. And then Mutual of Omaha will also send you an entire kit. They've done a lot of publication or mailings for me and a lot of information. So I suggest you guys look at it. It's something that you can just add to your little toolbox. But before we finish, I'm just letting more people in. I am going to introduce Jacob. Jacob was with us on the funnels class. If you didn't see that class, it is recorded. You can check it out in eXp Sanders Network or on the YouTube channel. And Jacob is going to
talk about how to utilize your Google business profile to get free organic leads and how you can outrank your competition in the local area. So we're going to kind of do it in twofold today. I'm going to do kind of a presentation like I did last time if you were here for the funnels. We're going to get on the same page on what is the profile, common myths, common errors that you can do. And then I'm actually going to dive into one of the demo profiles that we have and actually show you where to go in and do that. And so I'm going to do kind of everything a little high level, but don't worry because I have a YouTube channel that breaks it down even further. There's even an online course, all of those things. So you're not missing out. I just want to give you guys the right direction to go because I have agents in my RevShare group that literally after 2 months of dedication, they're getting a steady 6 to 7 calls a week straight from their profile. And so this works really well because one of the statistics that she was talking about is 56% of local businesses have not even claimed their free Google business profile listing. So there's a huge opportunity for that. And everybody that I've come in contact with, whether it's my agents, other agents at brokerages or clients, they don't utilize Google Business Profile correctly, and they only utilize about 10% of the features. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So I'm going to share my screen and get this going, and then I will have a question and answer at the end. So you can put your questions in there if you don't want to forget them, so we can, kind of remember them. If not, you can feel free to unmute at the end, and we'll get those answered for you. So can everybody see my screen? Yep. Awesome, awesome. So, all right, so today we're going to talk about top strategies. So we can use organic SEO to get free real estate leads coming to us. If you were not with me in the last session, why should you listen to me? I have been in digital marketing for over 17 years. I've owned my own full service marketing company for over 13 years. I've also been in real estate since 2014, but I officially got my license in 2007 or 2021 here in Texas. I'm in the Houston area, and I'm a real estate agent at EXP and a team leader as well. So I know what I'm talking about. My specialty is web design and SEO. So probably going to hear me geek out on some terminology, but we're going to get everybody kind of on the same page. So what we're going to cover today is just kind of set the standard of what is Google Business Profile. We're going to talk about local SEO and how you can use that to your advantage. We're talking about the benefits of a Google Business Profile for real estate agents. We're going to kind of do some overview and then talk about common errors and myths and how you can actually take action today to get your profile to start ranking and start working on that. So for those of you who don't know, or maybe don't know too much about it, Google Business Profile is basically a free tool. We like free that Google provides. And it basically is an online directory of business owners, and you can manage that profile, and you're going to pop up in Google Maps, and your Google searches as well. So this is a great tool because basically allows us to display our information, our location, our hours of operations. We can showcase our real estate services. We can share photos, videos, business updates. We can interact with our customers via them leaving reviews and us responding. They can ask questions, they can message us, book appointments. And again, we pop up in Google Maps because if you think about it, when you go to look for a business, what's the first thing you do? Restaurants near me, plumber near me. So your future prospects or leads are doing the exact same thing. One of the highest search terms for realtors or real estate agents is best realtor near me, top realtor near me, experienced realtor near me. So using some of those keywords in your local SEO, you can actually outrank the competition. And why should we focus on local SEO, which is what kind of powers Google? It's the largest search engine in the world, with YouTube being number 2. It's because back in the day, about 10 to 15 years ago, when we all started in marketing, SEO was huge. I remember working for web design companies, and people would pay a lot of money to be able to rank on the first page, if not the first slot on Google, for certain search terms. And it's because SEO drives 1,000% more traffic than organic social media. So why did everybody kind of ditch SEO? Well, they ditched it because there's this new thing, social media. People always go to the new thing because they want to be the first ones in, because that's where everybody's attention is going. What's so funny is now all these people that sell all these social media courses, these big influencers, they're now starting to go back to SEO because the market is oversaturated in social media. I personally don't like social media. I don't like to post. I know that's weird being in marketing, but I like the more SEO, the blogs, the YouTube videos, those type of things, because you can actually build a warmer, high quality lead because it utilizes pull marketing, allows them to take their time, get to know you, and build that trust factor. And if you talk to people that do marketing for their business, 60% of them say that inbound, which is SEO, blog content, your YouTube videos, is their highest quality source of leads. So if that's the case, they're a higher quality, especially versus something that comes from an ad that you've got to warm up. With a lead like Google Business Profile, they're able to read your reviews, see your photos. So for example, we're going to go to a restaurant. I'm going to go read the reviews and make sure people like it. I always skip to the negative ones. And then I'm going to go to the photos and look at the restaurant. Then I'm going to compare those photos to the photos that people took of their meals to see if it looks like what the restaurant promotes. And I also like to see how the restaurant responds to reviews. Are there any updates? So it kind of gets you a feel if you want to go spend and take your money there and take a chance on that restaurant. Well, your prospective real estate clients are doing the same thing. They're searching for real estate near them, how to buy a home. So if you can kind of dominate local SEO, not just on your website, your YouTube videos, but your Google Business Profile, which is a lot easier to do, you can really dominate your local market because most real estate agents are not doing what we're going to talk about today. So local SEO, if you don't know what SEO is, just stands for search engine optimization. layman's terms, it's ranking on Google for a specific keyword or question people are asking Google. So, you know, realtor near me, are you going to rank for that? Or how to buy a home in Houston, Texas, are you going to rank for that? So that's what we're taking is common search words and trying to get up in those search results. So what is the importance of local SEO? The reason why I like SEO over anything is because if you run any type of Facebook ads right now, Facebook several years ago limited us on how we can target our audience. They took away, now we have to have a special housing category. We can't put an age group. So especially if you're going to target seniors, you don't want to target somebody that's 18. Now you can't do that in Facebook ads. So the only way you can really target them is with the content itself. So they took away that capability for us because, you know, they want to make sure we're not discriminating against housing. So, but with local SEO, you can do that because your keywords will target who's searching for what. This gives us increased visibility online, which is super important today. And then it gives us a competitive edge because a lot of people with SEO, they think they understand it, but they don't. They don't want to pay the high monthly services of $1,000 to $1,500 a month. So they're trying to figure it out on their own. And so if you can figure it out with what I'm teaching today, that's going to give you a huge competitive edge. So some components that help us with our local SEO, which is going to be very important to understand to do your Google Business Profile properly, is keyword integration. So having the right keywords that you're searching for. So aging in place, aging in my current home, you know, buying a home, 55 plus communities, finding those keywords that your target audience, your niche is searching for is super important. And then based on your keyword plan, you can build local content around that. So not just for your Google Business Profile, but for your website blog, your funnels, your YouTube videos, your social media content. This can give you a cohesive branding and content that you can also share on your Google Business Profile. And then you can link build. That's one thing that you can do with a Google Business Profile is anytime your website or your platforms are on other popular websites or forums or online directories, that's called backlinking. So it just allows the robots that crawl on index pages to crawl your site again and say, oh, if this popular site is willing to put their reputation on the line to put this link there, well, this makes this site more credible. So it's one thing that you can do. And then you want to optimize for mobile, which Google Business Profile automatically does as well. So what are some of the benefits for real estate agents using Google Business Profile? Well, one, it's enhanced online visibility. We're a 24/7 tool that's promoting and generating and capturing leads for us because they can hit call directly from your profile. They can message you from your profile. They can book an appointment through your profile. So there's so much they can do. Plus you can put your website in there to capture those leads. It builds trust and credibility. One thing that I love about organic, and this is why people kind of jump to SEO and YouTube and all these things, is it builds trust and credibility. When you're using pull marketing, you're not forcing the end user to register or to call you immediately to get more information. So that's what happens with an ad. They got a few seconds to click it, and you're kind of forcing them to give up information and then moving them along through, you know, a funnel or whatever. And with a blog or a Google Business Profile, YouTube videos, you're using pull marketing to slowly pull them in, and you're building trust and credibility with them because they're reading your blogs, they're able to see your knowledge, they can interact with your videos. That's one of the biggest things for my marketing and the real estate business that really hit big was having video. You can put video on your Google Business Profile, your YouTube videos as well. And when people see video, they're able to hear you, they're able to see your mannerisms, your body language, and say, you know what, I like that person, I connect with that person. And that helps build a warmer, better quality lead as well. And on top of that, with Google Business Profile, you throw in reviews, photos, and other things that showcase your business. It helps build that trust and credibility because people trust Google Business Profiles. It showcases all of your services, your properties, your sold listings, everything that you have to offer. It also gives you insights into client behavior. You can see how people are finding your profile through analytics. You know, what search words, how many website clicks did you get? how many phone calls are you getting, all of those things. And then again, it gives you a competitive edge because I can guarantee you that 90% of real estate agents that have a profile don't even do anything with it. And we're going to talk about why that's kind of fatal too. So one of the biggest common errors when it comes to Google Business Profile is everybody thinks it's a one-time setup. So in my marketing company, when people come to us to do websites, we kind of have a bundle where we'll do a one-time optimization for the first 30 days of a Google Business Profile. And everybody says the same thing. Oh, I already set that up a long time ago. And I'm like, great. How often do you update it? Well, I don't have, my phone number never changed or my website's never changed, so I've never updated it. Well, there's more to it than just that profile you see here on the screen. There's more to it than your business name, your business category, your description, your phone number, your hours of operations and service areas. That's just the first step in setting it up. So just like SEO, just like YouTube videos, just like social media, in order to stay in the algorithm, you have to constantly be adding new content, new updates, and you can do that, which is another thing we're going to show you today. So remember, anything with SEO, getting found, is an ongoing process. There's no such thing as a one and done. It's nice and it's thought, but you always got to stay up to date, always stay moving as well. So your Google Business Profile requires consistent updating. And if not, I've had people come to me with their profile suspended because they've had it for years and there's never been a review, there's never been an update on it. So Google thinks that business is inactive and they want to protect their integrity of those profiles that they promote. So they've suspended the profile due to inactivity. So that's something you have to watch out. So you need to make regular updates, especially if you want to rank and outdo your competitors in the local area, okay? So one great big thing is reviews. So reviews are just a whole nother conversation in themselves. There's reviews that get flagged. There's reviews that don't show up. But you should try to get as many reviews as you can, legitimate, real reviews that you can, because this will honestly will show not only that you have, 4.5, 5 stars, whatever your review level is, but this also gives you more credibility. So the more reviews, the more 5 stars you have, the more Google's going to want to push your profile because people like you and they want to promote you more. And this will also give more confidence to your future prospects, your leads, that you are an agent that knows what they're doing. So try to get new leads. If you don't have leads on your profile, maybe you haven't had a client in a while, or you can't get past clients to leave them, or you're a new agent, go talk to family members, friends, colleagues, people you've worked with in some type of capacity, and have them talk about your character, your work ethic, why they should trust you. It doesn't necessarily have to be about real estate, but get some reviews led. Just make sure they have real profiles, that you're not creating a profile just to go leave a review, because that's one thing that will get flagged. So you want people to have good profiles and good standing. So that way, when they leave a review, Google's not going to flag it as a spammed profile, okay? So do that, and then you want to reply to all of your reviews. Replying to your review is not optional. One thing, when you reply, don't just reply with thank you for your feedback, or oh, I love to hear this. No, actually respond to what they're saying, because remember, with Google Business Profile, everything text-wise that you can put on there is SEO. That's just going to help you climb the search rankings. So when people respond and say, oh, Jacob helped us through, buying our first home and guided us every step of the way, I repeat those words in the review or the reply. So I'll say, it was such a pleasure helping you buy your first home. We're so excited for you. We're so honored that you chose to trust us in the home buying process. Again, another keyword. And then I make sure it sounds heartfelt, it reads well, but it's your way to add some SEO content and to show that you just don't leave a generic review, that you actually care about your reviews. Now, if you get a negative review, you need to respond. I know a lot of people that ignore these and try to get them removed. You don't need to get a negative review removed. So what you want to do is to reply to the review and say, I'm so sorry that this is your experience. We're going to connect with you offline and see if we can't get the matter resolved. Connect with them. This shows your audience that you are not afraid of negative reviews, that you responded appropriately, and then you can connect offline and see if you can get that problem resolved. And then you can ask them, hey, you know, since we fixed your problem, do you mind removing that review or changing your review to a better one? And so they can do that. You can't get Google to take a review back just because you didn't agree with it. That's their experience. That's what they're allowed to do. Now, if somebody leaves an inappropriate review, uses bad language, cusses in it, you can get Google to remove that and you know, feedback that review. But make sure you're responding to reviews. I even have a video on my YouTube. I have a playlist on SEO and Google business profile, and I show you how to use Zapier to automate your reviews, and Zapier will read it and respond accordingly, and it looks like you did it yourself. And you can even tell it to wait 5 minutes, 10 minutes after the review comes in, so it doesn't look like a bot just automatically replied. So if you're busy, you're trying to automate your business, that's something you can do, and I have it do it on 4 and 5 stars. Anything less than that, I go manually do myself. So make sure you're responding to reviews. And then a lot of people don't have a keyword strategy, and I know a lot of people, I don't know what a keyword strategy is. That sounds complicated. It's really not. Just think about if you were your client in that demographic, what would you be searching for? There's tools and resources, which I'll show you, like Keywords Everywhere, that, and I've got videos on that too in depth, but you can develop your own keyword strategy and build your content around that. So don't attack your Google business profile, your YouTube videos, your blog without some type of keyword strategy, and at least saying, hey, for this update, I want to focus on this main keyword, which is aging in place. And then maybe your supporting keywords that you use throughout would be aging in place in my current home. And you can find statistics for what keywords are ranking, what are people searching for, so that you can compete with that. So you want to research relevant keywords, and then always start with what they call low competition keywords. And so basically there's low competition, medium, and high competition. High competition keywords are your city, realtor. You know, Zillow is always going to rank for that. Homes for sale in Houston, Google or Zillow is always going to rank for that. They have a higher domain authority, they have more content, and that's okay. But there are other keywords and other questions that you can rank for, and I'll show you when we do the live demo. But you can start with a low competition. You will rank immediately for that, and I'll give you a good example when we do that. And then you want to create consistent content with those keywords, whether it's updates on your profile, in your description, and the products we're going to show you to add. And then you can link other supporting content like YouTube videos, your website blog in the updates of your Google business profile. And it'll make more sense when we actually show you the live profile. The other thing is services and categories. Make sure you add every service that you have. You can also add custom services. So you can, you know, rephrase a specific service. So you can do home valuations, and then your other keyword is free CMA. So somebody might search for CMA. A lot of people don't know what that means. They know what a home valuation is. So you can kind of do variations on those keywords, add those as services. But the biggest thing is make sure if they're letting you add a description to anything, that you always add that description, because that's going to give you characters right there that allow you to use for SEO. So each description, you can use ChatGPT to help you write the description, but you get 300 characters. And then right here, if you look, I say helping future homeowners buy homes in Greater Houston, Texas. So buy homes, and then there's the location. And then we talked about experienced realtors is another keyword. Buying your dream home, investing in real estate. So there's several keywords there, and then you can use that as well. So go in, do variations, but also leave keywords.
Jacob, can you show them? I put in the chat box keywords everywhere, just to kind of show them, because most people don't know about that site. It kind of gives us an idea of what is being searched, because, you know, we're hearing about keywords, but why don't you show us what that really means?
And once we go to the live after this next slide, I'll pull that up, and then we'll break it down how to apply all of this in each spot of that page. And that way, because it's a really cool tool that you can add to your browser, and anything you search for is going to show you what the search results are. So yeah, we'll definitely break that down. And then one of the last common errors is just not utilizing all of the features. So like I said, most real estate agents only do the edit profile. They don't do anything else. They don't even set up their calling. They don't set up their messaging, their booking. So we want to be able to use all of these categories, especially products. Every time I show somebody the product stuff, they're like, oh, I never thought of that, because we actually have products. And then make sure you're updating frequently. If you really want to hit the ground running, you need to be adding 3 updates a day. I know that sounds like a lot, but it's actually very easy. Let's say you have 5 tips on how to age in place. Well, each one of those tips is an update. So you don't have to be super long updates. It's just a quick little blurb. It's not like a blog post or a social media post. Make sure you're uploading photos and videos, you're adding questions and answers, which I'm going to show you. And then just the more active you are on your profile on a regular basis, the more you're going to be able to rank for that. So now we can show you all of this. So this is a profile we used to use. Unfortunately, because I started an actual real estate team here, so we have to change all of our branding. So this is what I use for kind of trainings like this. So I want to be able to show you where everything goes and good examples of each thing. And like I said, each one of these things is broken down even more on my YouTube channel. But one of the first things I want to talk about was go to the keywords. So let me make sure I have this enabled, because you can get, if you go to here, and I'll even show you the website, keywordseverywhere.com. This is an extension that you get for Chrome, Firefox, or Edge. And I believe it is $6 a month. They went up recently. But this is worth it. And I'm going to show you why, because this gives you valuable insight on what you're searching. So if I search Katy, Texas real estate, we'll do some other stuff like the agent in place. It's going to, oops, let me make sure it's enabled, because I don't like to waste my credits if I'm not using it. All right, so now we can do this. So I'm going to show you a couple of searches. So what happens is it's going to analyze and give you charts and data and relative keywords that are similar to what you're searching for. So if I just search kind of the area near me, Katy, Texas real estate, this exact keyword that I search gets 590 searches a month, low competition. It's under, you want it to be under 40. And then if I were to run an ad on Google for this, it would be 36 cents a click if they were to click on that ad. So it tells you kind of SEO difficulty, all of that stuff. There's long tail keywords. It comes over here and gives you data trend over the last 12 months, 5 years for that keyword. And then what's really cool, and this is something I show my agents, because I get a lot of new agents that don't like to focus on rentals, but it's a great way to get buyers because most people don't think they can qualify. If you look, Katy, Texas homes for rent gets 8,100 searches a month. I would never know that. So you could write content on rentals. And then when you talk to them about the rental, hey, have you ever tried to see if you qualify for a home? Most people do. I had one person that was 90 days out from qualifying. Well, now we just did a short-term lease and we got those. So this gives you all the stuff you can make content. And then if you click in here, find long tail keywords, it'll open it up into Keywords Everywhere, and it's going to run a global search, and you can actually filter out competition, how many searches. If you say, I don't want to see anything that got less than 500 searches, you can do that. And now you can export this into a spreadsheet, and this is your keywords, your keyword plan, basically. And if we were to do, we did this yesterday in another one, aging in place, just nationally, globally, or in the US, it gets 5,400 searches a month, just the word aging in place. So if we come over here, look, aging in place design, aging in place communities, in-home assistance for elderly. So these are all blog articles that you could be writing and then posting to your Google Business Profile, and then taking that blog and cutting it up and making it updates on your profile. So this is Keywords Everywhere. I think it's one of the best tools out there, and it's worth, I know they went up quite a bit actually, but they didn't have the monthly before. Usually I have just.
I did put the link in the box again just now. Please go ahead and grab that link if you guys need it. And the recording and all of this will be up on our network. So don't worry if you fall off or you're not getting all this information. It's overwhelming, I know, but don't worry, it'll be up, the recording will be up there and you'll have those links.
Yes, and so even if you got to rewatch it, be like, what did he say? It's still there. So, because there's a lot of information to get out, and I get excited and geeky on this stuff. So, all right, so that's keywords everywhere. So once we've established keywords, now we can start having fun with our profile. So I'm going to quickly go through every feature and show you and then I'll show you a plan when you're done, what to focus on first. Okay, so we've done this. Almost everybody has filled this out. You'd be surprised how many people don't really fill this out all the way. So let's talk about a couple of things, because a lot of times you can get your profile suspended and we don't want that. And if you have your profile suspended, I just have a video coming out on Monday, and I've done one before on how to really get it undone. Because I think this last 6 months, we've helped like 125 people get it reinstated. So your business name, unless you're a broker or you have a team you're trying to promote, just do your name. People rather connect, especially if you're targeting agent in place people, they rather work with an individual than a business. My grandpa is prime example of that. He's 86, he can outrun me, still mows his lawn. They have their home, 2-story home. And this is the guy, like he wants to know, John Doe, like Joe Bob down the road. And so this is very important because marketing statistics will show you this. Just do your name, space, and then just do your city and real estate. Because what happens is if you don't have a registered business license in some states as an agent, you can't do that, like here in Texas, unless you're a broker. So your business name has to match your registered business. Well, as agents, we can't really do that depending on your area. So they're going to look at your real estate license and it needs to match that. Business categories, you can claim more than one. Claim all that apply to you. Real estate agency, real estate agent, there's even a real estate consultant. Claim all those because you can put services under each one of those and then do your descriptions. What's really cool now is Google, let me see if it'll let me do this, has an AI. You can write your description the best way you can. Use ChatGPT, which is what it's from. I just bullet point ChatGPT. It writes my bios all the time and I read them and go, I want to be that person when I grow up because it does a better job than me. So here now they've got AI to help you write descriptions that are what Google's looking for. So use that, it's free, okay? Your opening date, this is great, it shows your experience. If you're brand new, I probably would leave this blank. Make sure your phone number is your phone number. You want all of your information to be consistent. That's on your website and your platforms. Don't have a different number on everything because then that'll get flagged that why is that number only on your profile versus other things. Put your website, your social media profiles, business location. This is one of the biggest things that profiles get suspended. You do not need to put an address, and I implore you not to. One reason is most people, I know we all wouldn't say we would never leave EXP, but a lot of people change their brokerages, change office locations, and every time you update that, that flags Google that you have changed locations, and they're going to want to see a lease agreement, a utility bill, and signage at the location with your specific business name, not your brokerage, anything like that. So we tend to meet clients where they're at, so leave that. It doesn't help you rank anymore, and this will be the #1 reason your profile gets suspended. So put all your service areas. My spiel on service areas is this. Prime example, Katy, Texas. We have a popular area that's right next to us that everybody wants to live in because it has the best high schools, it has the nicest neighborhoods, it's got the best shopping. And so everybody wants to live in Cinco Ranch. Cinco Ranch is not a city, it's a specific area inside of Katy, a specific side of town. And so you can put stuff like that. Look, Hobby Houston. Hobby is the South Houston where the airport's at. Westbury is it's kind of southwest of Houston. So you want to put all those popular areas inside the city if you live in a bigger city as well, because people search for that. So when people search for homes for sale in Katy, they're really searching homes for sale in Cinco Ranch because they want that specific area, or restaurants in Cinco Ranch. So people really do niche down their area. So make sure you include all those. And what's really cool is Google, when you click on this, will give you suggested places that are other service areas that they recommend for you. I don't service these, so we don't do those. Business hours, don't put 24/7. Google's rule for location and business hours is that at a location, this is why you don't want to put it either, is that you have somebody staffed to greet your client as they walk through the door during those business hours. If you don't qualify for a location. And for phone number, for business hours, you must be able to answer the phone during those business hours. Now, yes, we're with a client, all of those things, but you don't want them to ask them rate your business, rate your experience. So you want to make sure that you can answer that. So all these people that put 24/7, I have one guy that actually doesn't, won't change it because he says I have one of those calling services that answer after hours. And so he doesn't want to miss out on a lead from somebody in his area. There's a lot of third shift workers and they tend to call during that time. So I just recommend you do what you're willing to answer, that you're available, and keep that simple. This doesn't really apply to us. Business. If you identify as one of these owned businesses, like we have Hispanic and veteran owned. My spouse is from El Salvador and he's also a veteran. So we check those because we actually get people say, hey, I went with you because you're a veteran owned business, because they were a veteran and they felt like they could work with them more. Select your crowds. If you have a language option, if you speak multiple languages, check all those off. This lets people know, even though your content's in English, that you can speak their language and help them. So this will attract more people. And that's just your profile. And that's most as far as people get. Reviews, we talked about, you can reply to reviews. That's pretty simple. Make sure your messaging is turned on. You're uploading some photos and videos. Then this is probably one of the biggest things is products. Products show down here. I get a lot of agents that say, oh, I don't have a product or a service to sell. Yes, we do. We have a lot of things actually, and especially for aging in place, you can have a lot of lead magnets and things like we've talked about in the funnel video. So if you haven't watched that, go watch it. But what's really cool about the products, it's just another way to kind of shove SEO keywords in somebody's face, okay? So the products I have is buying a home, selling your home, homes for sale. That's the general category. You can make as many categories as you want. You just click add product, put your product name, you get 58 characters. You can do a photo. You can create these in Canva. Just do the Instagram story or Instagram post, which is like that perfect square. So 1080 by 1080 by 1080 pixels or 1200 by 1200. Just make sure it's a square. And then you can say create new category, put your category. Once you submit something with that category, it'll show up here in the drop down next time. Price, you can leave blank. You get 1,000 characters for description. And guess what? ChatGPT can help you. You can literally go to my profile and copy my description, go into ChatGPT and say, hey, rewrite this description for my area. And it'll do that. And then you can put a landing page or URL, which I'm going to show you how to do that. So one thing you could do for products, think about homes for sale. Let me go back over here. This is an easier view. So homes for sale. I do homes for sale in every area and neighborhood that I service. Homes for sale in Richmond, Texas, Katy, Texas, Missouri City, Sugar Land, all those, because people are searching. These are actual search terms, okay? And so I just write a little description. Like I said, you can steal this and have ChatGPT do it for your area. But I just talk about the location, the history, the roads that are coming through, and kind of why people want to live there. And when they click this, it's going to take them to a saved search result on my IDX website that's always up to date, showing, it's supposed to show days on website. It'll show the days on website, so it's always showing the newest listings available. So all of your homes for sale for that city goes to a landing page, and if your CRM is set up correctly, where it only allows them to view one properly, it's going to force them to register, and guess what? You just captured a lead through Google Business Profile. And if they don't want to go to your site, and this is what a lot of older people will do in that aging in place demographic, is my grandpa is not on his iPhone going to go to a website. He's going to hit that call button and call somebody because he wants to talk to somebody on the phone. And so now you can this allow people to track. So when anybody clicks these links, these now go to your analytics that, oh, this is how many people went to your website. This is how many people clicked your call button. So now you can go through and do every service area as well. And I just did this in Canva. You can use any type of layout. I just used the same one. And then, like I said, changed homes for sale in Richmond, had our picture, our contact information, and that's it. Buying a home, we put free download, home ownership app. If you're using KV Core, you have a home ownership app that's an easy lead to capture because they got to register to download that. And now you can chat with them on it, all of those things. So the home ownership app, we also have search for homes. So I take them to the search page on KV Core, and then free download my buyer's guide. So this is where you can do a home buyer's guide, a reverse mortgage guide. You can do all the guides you want to help somebody aging in place. You know, aging in place in your current home versus a 55 over community. Maybe they don't know that if they go the home they've had for 30 years, they haven't updated it. The moment they go to rip into that wall, their whole house is going to have to be up to code. So give them information like that, and that's going to go to a landing page that allows you to capture leads. If you don't know how to do that, I have a whole KV Core playlist with building landing pages in there as well. And then for selling your home, we have the free seller's guide and then home valuations to capture that lead. And another category, because like I said, we're not updating this really anymore, is on I do sold. So all the homes you've sold, I make the address, the full spelled out address, the title. I use a abbreviated listing description to talk about it, and then what it's sold for. And then guess what? This is now your portfolio. You're using geolocation, and it's just a great thing to have. So products you can do, definitely would recommend doing that because everybody has these. Okay. And then people will be able to see your different categories. Questions and answers. Let's see if this is working today. It's not. So you can ask a question, okay? You don't have to wait for somebody to ask a question. You can type in a question. We'll just do it live since there isn't one to display. How much are closing costs in Houston? See, now it's showing, oh, it gives you suggested answers too. It'll help you answer it. Closing in, how much are closing costs in Houston, Texas? So if you post that, you'll be able to come back here to your questions and answers. I don't know why it's not showing these, but when you come back to question and answer, it's going to give you a list of all the questions that have been asked. And there's going to be a button that says ask a question, or there's going to be one that says answer the question. Anybody can answer those questions. So now you can go through and answer those. And it's a way to include SEO keywords. And a great way to get these questions is Google shows you exactly when you search for something like Katy, Texas real estate agent in place, it gives you what people are trending for that day. And if you just keep clicking, it gives you more questions. So these are great frequently asked questions. Obviously use your discretion. And it kind of gives you sort of an answer as well that you can use ChatGPT to help you. So this is a great way to beef up these. I would start right away with 5 and maybe add 2 to 3 a week. And this will help you keep up new content. If you have frequently asked questions that people are always asking you, those are a great way to put those as well. And then the last thing we'll go through, is adding updates. Updates, there are 3 types of updates that you can do. You can add an update by going up here to your admin panel. If you don't know how to get to that, you just come over here, the account you're logged into, and then click Business Profile Manager. But you can go to an update, and there's 3 types of updates. So we'll come back to the add an update, but you can add an offer. Maybe you had a reduced price on one of your listings. Add an offer. You can add that, hey, reduced price, and promote that listing. You can also come through and add an event. Add your open houses. Any type of real estate events that you're doing, you can add those as well. Any type of local events that you want to promote, you can promote them right inside there. And it's another way to bring traffic to your Google Business Profile. And the one update that you want to do when I said to add, if you really want to hit the ground running, try to add 3 small updates a day. You add updates here, you just put in a generic photo, and I'll show you what I do. I usually just find an interior photo of a home that looks like a home in our area. And then again, it's that square graphic. And then I get Google or ChatGPT to write all my content. I usually go and say, hey, I need to do 3 posts a day. I want to talk about aging in place, buying a home, 55 plus communities, closing costs, reverse mortgages, give it topics. And then it will spit out and say, you can say, give me 5 days of content, and it will spit it out for you. And you can just copy and paste it And then one of the biggest things not to do in your updates, do not add a URL in the actual description area, and do not add phone numbers, and you don't need hashtags like social media. If you add URLs, especially if they're different from your main one, and phone numbers, it's a way to get your post immediately flagged. And if you do a bunch of them, you can get your profile suspended. So don't do that. They give you a call to action section right here. You can click learn more, book, sign up, call now, which is probably the default one that I normally use for updates unless I want them to go register or download something. More people will click call now versus go to a website because they will probably get distracted. And I can track the call now, which I really like. So let me show you a sample update that I did and show you how simple they are. So here's a sample update. See, a generic photo, you can put your logo in here if you want to. Nobody's scrolling through these like social media. This is just to help with SEO. And so basically you're going to see several keywords. Selling your Katie home. So selling your home. And then we have dedicated Katie realtors. And then we come through, we talk about negotiation, paperwork. Think about selling and Katie, connect with Jacob and Miguel, your expert assistance and stress-free selling experience. And then down here, I always put the same footer, my name, realtor, he's a veteran, and then what brokerage we're with. And then you see right here is the call now. And then I go through and we just post daily updates talking about selling, new construction, veteran loans. Now with all the stuff we've been learning with Heather, we're going to be starting aging in place too, and added because we literally have like 3 communities 5 minutes from us that we never really thought about promoting, and what a demographic it is to really promote in this area. So you can literally tell ChatGPT what to do. I have a whole video on updates on my Google Business Profile. So if you really want to hit the ground running, this is where you're going to do is those updates. So I'm going to wrap this up so you guys can ask questions. But if I were to tackle my profile, let's say you brand new or you didn't really do anything with your profile, quickly just make sure your profile is edited like we talked about. Make sure you got messages and phone calls enabled, okay? So all your information is correct. And then I would immediately go add questions and answers, schedule some posts. You can schedule your Google Business Profile updates. You can use something like Hootsuite, Buffer, Loomly. There's 1,000 of them out there. You just connect your profile like you did Facebook, and then you can go through. I spend about 2 hours a month with the help of ChatGPT, telling it to give me content, how many posts a day I want, and for it to break it up. And I probably spend 2 hours scheduling all the posts, and I don't got to worry about it for the rest of the month. So you can go get those scheduled, and then I would move on to the products. And like I said, you can go find this profile, just Google this. It'll take you right to it, or just go to my YouTube channel. I show you live all those demos with that. So that's what I would do, and then just be consistent. If you're only going to do 3 times a week, do 3 times a week, but don't derail from that. Start consistent, even if it's a few days, and then work your way up. You never want to go backwards when you're doing anything consistently. So I'm going to open it up to questions, and I'll look through the chat. Some of these
I know we have so many questions. And by the way, so down below on your screen, you're going to have like a little reactions. You can go ahead and raise your hand as one of them, and Jacob can go by. There's so many questions in there. Do you use stock photos?
Yes. These are all from Canva. And the reason why is nobody's scrolling through this like social media, so stock photos are fine.
Okay, Carla Molina. Stock photos?
Hi, Jacob. I have a question.
Yes.
What about if I have 16 reviews, but I really didn't reply to anybody. So should I go back and reply now, even if it's been years?
I would, just because even though it's been a minute, it still shows, future people that you responded. They might not pay attention to your response date, but I would go respond. Yeah. Because it's just SEO content.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
Going back to the stock photos, I know that I cut you off. I'm so sorry.
You're good.
Jacob, what were you saying about the stock photos?
Oh, I just get them on Canva. The thing you got to understand about these updates, nobody is like on TikTok or Facebook scrolling through these. These are just to help you with SEO. And then if somebody comes, they can see some updates. Just make sure your stock photos match the homes that are for sale in your area. Don't put a Florida home when you live in South Dakota. They don't, Miami style homes, you're never going to see there. So just make sure. That's why I stick with home interior, because any home can look like that anywhere. So I find common homes of the market I'm trying to represent.
Kristen Sanchez, can you open up your mic and ask your question? Because that was a very interesting one. And I know Jacob handles that all the time. Is she out there?
Yeah, I had several questions, so I'm not sure which
for
one
it.
you're
Go
referring
for
to.
it.
Ask them.
Well, I guess the last one that kind of triggered me was you said something about don't add a phone number or URL, that we might get tagged on that. And I just added a product for Sell Your Home, and it has a option to add a photo. So I put a sign of my photo of my for sale sign, which of course has my phone number and my website, my email address. Is that going to get flagged?
It should not. No, you can have a text in the photos. The thing that I'm talking about is when you do a product or a description for your update, make sure the URL is not in here. Because it looks like spam to Google. That why are you given a different URL than what your business website is? That's why they do give you a chance to add a button if you have a different, but if it's in the photo graphic, you should be fine.
Okay. And then I did have, I don't want to hijack you, but I had a
Yeah,
few
no, your other
questions.
one, actually, it's
The
really good.
domain name.
You said,
Oh.
is it important to set up a business domain name? I just used the email and website that was given to me by EXP with my EXP email directed to a Gmail account. But to get more complete profile, Google is asking me to set up a domain name.
Okay, so Google will always ask you that because they want to bill you. So it's not going to affect your profile. It's just going to say it's not 100% complete. What you want to look for is that it's either green or it's almost green. Like you'll see it orange and it's almost got a little bit to go. You just want to worry about your profile strength, but that does not affect that. For branding, I recommend you get a domain. I know it's another thing to pay for, but it's only like 16 bucks a year. The only reason I tell you that is, again, what happens to all of your marketing materials if you, God forbid, left EXP or a new opportunity came along? Now you have to update everything. Everything that was going to that EXP email is no longer going to go to you. It's going to return that, that email is no longer valid. So I'm just a proponent of my own branding because I'm in control of it. And if I do change something, I can take it with me. So it's up to you. I know top producers that use all of the tools EXP gives them, and they do a couple hundred deals a year. So it's up to you. It's just about branding at the end.
Okay, so I mean, I have my EXP mail directed to my Kristen Sanchez Realtor at gmail.com, and I'll continue to have the Gmail account even if I left EXP. Is that still gonna be an issue?
Well, the moment you leave EXP, they will remove at some point your alias email, so it'll no longer forward. So I always tell people, if you're in that transition of rebranding, let's say you're thinking about ordering new signs and stuff, that's when you want to do that rebranding. You don't have to necessarily do it right now, but you can phase out eventually all of those things that had your EXP email, your EXP website domain. You can get your own, and it just looks a little more professional to me. You got the EXP Realty brand that looks professional than just putting out your @Gmail, but you can slowly phase that out. But it only affects you if you were to leave EXP. So I'm a big proponent of branding, and it just looks more sleek and clean. And plus too, if the domain name is your name, it's just easier to remember than @exprealty.com, and a lot of times the email addresses now, because we got so many people at 90,000, as some agents, their email is so long.
I know, that's what it would be for me if I stuck with KristenSanchez.com. That's still, and then something before that, Kristen Sanchez Realtor at KristenSanchez.com. It's like, oh my God, Canva would freak out because it wouldn't fit in any of the templates.
Correct. And you got to make it so tiny that nobody can read it anyways. And I always think about when you're doing domain names or email addresses, think about, and especially we're talking about aging in place here, people have to type that. Like you want to make it easy and quick for them to type, especially a domain name or an email address, and you want it to fit on everything. So that's why, to me, personal branding is everything. If you're choosing a domain name, I know this is off topic, just keep it short. Your domain name does not really matter anymore. I know people say it does with SEO. You know, you can abbreviate stuff if you want to. Just make it easy to remember for people, and it makes it nice and neat on a business card or a website.
Okay, thank
We've got
you.
about, we've got about 5 more minutes. Julie Weaver, then Tiana, then Carla. So
Oh, we got
Julie,
hands.
please open up your mic and talk to Jacob.
Hey Jacob, how are you?
Great, how are you?
Good. So my business is shown as not visible to customers, and it has been saying Google is processing your verification for 5 days. It may take up to 5 days, and that's been for like months. And I don't know how to get out of it. I'm just stuck.
So usually there's a link right under that, like to learn more. But if you Google Google Business Profile support, there is a support where it'll go through and ask what you need help with. I'll give you 2 ways. I just did this the other day. There's 2 ways. You can choose what your actual problem is that you're having trouble with verification. Okay. And then it'll ask you, you know, to leave information, then it'll submit a ticket. A lot of times those are just AI tickets, and then their computer system tries to resolve them. I had somebody that they said to submit an appeal and select your appeal, and there was no appeal to submit, and their profile was suspended. So I finally did the other and just kept saying other, my solution's not there. And then you can actually write a huge thing and then tell them what your problem. So I would do that as like option B. But you should be able to go through, if you just type in Google Business Profile support, there's a whole section where you can do a feedback ticket. You're never going to talk to somebody directly, but you can get somebody to email you. And then once you got their email address, now you can go back and forth with that agent. That
Okay.
should work out.
Thank you.
No problem. Who's
Next is Tiana.
Tiana.
My question's kind of similar to Julie's.
Okay.
I tried to do the Google My Business to set it up for EXP, and for
Okay.
some reason, or it got denied, saying you can't do real estate or something. So I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. Is there any way that you do like you're able to help me?
Yes, actually, so go ahead and I'll put in my contact information. Just message me.
Okay.
We help people get their profiles reinstated. It just depends on the reason it's suspended. We've had them done within 48 hours. The last one we just helped took 2 months for us because it was just a weird situation. And the reason why is if you're branding everything towards EXP and some of those reasons I mentioned, they're going to say you don't qualify. They've gotten very strict. Just a business can't qualify for a profile. It has to be a local business that's registered or has the authority to do business that serves a specific local area and has a presence in that community. So they're probably just looking at it. And the sad thing to say, most of the people that are answering those questions are overseas, so they don't understand how that works here. They're just going by the guidelines they have. So once you explain it, which is usually the back and forth in the emails, we can get it reinstated. So you can actually make us a manager on your account and we can take over.
Okay. All right.
And I'll put that information.
Next is Carla Molina from Los Angeles.
Thank you. I have 2 questions, Jacob. Where do you add videos and how long can they be?
Usually everything's about size as far as like the megabytes. So you add them in the same place as the photos, and I would keep them under a minute.
Under a minute. And I have one more question.
Yep,
Okay,
go
my
for it.
profile is Carla Molina, Realtor, EXP Realty, Los Angeles, and San Bernardino. Should I shorten that? Because I see some people that it's just Realtor, but I know with compliance, we have to put EXP Realty.
So you could talk to your broker, but I will tell you this. Here's 2 things. As long as it's in your description, at least for Texas, as long as we identify who we're with, we are fine. The problem is if you have to put that in your title and you're constantly changing that, it's going to be a flag because Google's reason, and this is what they verbatim said to us, there is no reason a business should ever have to change their name. So to them, that shows like it's fraudulent. So I
Just keep-
personally, right at this point, would not change it. at
Okay,
this point because it could flag you and get it suspended, and then it's a fight to get it reinstated, which you can, it's not impossible, but it's not going to affect your SEO, okay? Your updates, your profile description, your service descriptions, all those things that I taught about today, that's what affects you. It's just you, if you were to ever get suspended, you would need to correct it to kind of match your license and area.
okay, I won't touch it. Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Oh, we got two more questions.
No, go for it.
Medina out of San Antonio, Texas.
Oh, right near you, yay.
Yeah, near you. I just have a question. So I have quite a few reviews, and every once in a while I notice, let's say I had 50 reviews, it goes down to 44. They're hiding my good reviews, and I don't know how to get those reinstated.
I hate to tell you, there's nothing you can do. The reason why, so I have a person we're coaching right now. She had like 66 reviews, and then the other day it was like down to 29, and then 2 days later it's at 44. Google periodically goes through the reviews to make sure they're not spam reviews. So the only thing you can do is you can, well, like I told the previous person, do Google Business Profile support, and you can tell them your issue and just keep doing other and ask them, hey, why are my reviews? These are real clients. I can prove it. I can show you the transaction we did and then get those reviews back. But a lot of times, unfortunately, the way Google views this is it's a free resource. So they're not going to spend a whole lot of money unless you are a person who is spending money in Google local service ads and you've been verified with that little green check. But it's just a struggle everybody's having right now. I've got an agent that literally gets probably 5 or 6 reviews every other week, and half of them don't even make it. And the language is fine.
Okay, thank you.
I know it's not a great answer, but I'm sorry.
Okay, last one, Amy, and then we're gonna shut it down and I'll make sure this recording gets up. But Amy's gonna come on. I'm gonna make 2 last announcements before Amy gets on. Number 1, please mark your calendars. For our next marketing class, it's Liz Brown. We're going to talk about how to connect with older adult homeowners through Facebook. So she's going to give you ideas of how to do videos. She's going to talk about things that are very specific in targeting this demographics for us as realtors and what we could talk about. And then she's going to give you a bunch of information, how to do reels and what works, what doesn't. So that is on Friday, June 21st, 3 p.m. Eastern time, 1 p.m. Pacific time. Then mark your calendars for this because I'm bringing back Mutual of Omaha. If you were not certified in the lifestyle home loan real estate course that they have, I've done it in the past over the years. They're coming back to do this course. It's a 2-hour course and you do have a test at the end before you can get the certification. Then they send you out a very large packet of information. This is all on the lifestyle home loan certification course. This is on Friday, June 28th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I will have a link for Mutual of Omaha where you will need to sign up. But you will have to be on that call for 2 hours to be certified and then take the test that they give you. If you don't know really fast, the lifestyle home loan is just a great option for those over 62 to get out of a home that they've had for 40, 50, 60 years and be able to purchase a brand new home with very little, like a little chunk of money down, but they don't have payments every month. They do have their typical payments like an HOA, taxes, property, keeping up with the property and insurance. So that's stuff that they will have to take care of. But when it comes to a mortgage payment every month, it's something that they won't have to pay. It's a heck of a purchase. However, Mutual of Omaha has nicely coined it a lifestyle home loan. So they're coming in to certify us. Last but not least, Amy, why don't you open up your mic and ask Jacob the question?
So I set up my Google. I had somebody optimize mine, and it has my name and my son's name, and then our team name, and then EXP. Well, my son is planning to go inactive for a little bit. It's just got a lot going on. So if I take his name off, will it mess up my profile?
Possibly. But you'll have to comply with that anyway, so you don't want to, as long as maybe if he's helping your business, you maybe could leave him, but you just don't want to allude that he's an agent. So you can take it off, but what I would do is just what is a big flag for Google is that you go changing your name, your category, your business hours, your phone number. It looks like somebody took over your profile. So if you're going to make that change, make the change because you have to, but don't make any other major updates to the business descriptions, like the services, service categories, description, phone number, email address, profiles. You can add updates or products, but I wouldn't go change the contact information and give it like a week so it doesn't look like you're just slowly falsifying your business. So sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't. I know that's not a solid answer, but there's
It's
way if
helpful.
it does
Thank you.
happen, you can get it reinstated. You just got to show your license and
Okay.
argue with them about it.
Okay, thank you. He's not
Okay.
inactive yet, so I don't have to do it right this minute.
I
But
wouldn't do it until he does.
okay, thank you.
No problem.
right. Bye-bye.
Jacob, thank you so much for helping
Oh.
EXP Seniors Network with not just our funnels class. And if you missed that class, we have the video, it's up in the EXP Seniors Network, but for this class, I really appreciate it. But we are going to have you back for another class. So we'll talk.
Anytime.
Hey,
Anytime.
Heather,
Yes.
can I
yes,
ask a quick question?
Sure, go for it.
And actually it's for either one of you. You keep talking about this funnel. Where do I find that replay of that?
In the EXP Seniors Network, if somebody is able to drop that link in there, that would be great. You know what? Do me a favor. In Seniors Network, email me and I'll send you the link. Okay, I'll send it to you. It's easy.
So can okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry, go on.
Heather, I'm gonna just I'll workplace chat you if that's
Workplace,
okay.
exactly. That's
Thank
it.
you.
The recording for this video will be in Workplace. All of these classes that I teach are here in Workplace. There's 6 years worth of recordings and videos for the senior demographics and really marketing and this niche and talking about who and what and the heads of national organizations. We've had them here. There's great videos for you to check out. I always like bringing in great people to give us tips and tricks. Jacob's given us a lot of great stuff. The funnel was awesome. This was even better. Thank you.
I just dropped the link in the chat for the funnel in the group.
Oh, great. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, stay tuned for the next 2 classes. If you guys need anything, check out Workplace for stuff and chat, myself, Jim. We're around. Thank you.
Bye, guys.